that wishes to address the committee? No? All right, then we'll move on to item number 1, which is the presentation, discussion, and possible recommendation of BPUB's financial performance report for the period ending August 31st.
Well, good afternoon, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. My name is George Rangel. I am the finance manager here at PUB, and I'll be going over the financial performance report for the month ending August 31st, 2023. So we'll go ahead and start with the income statement. I'm going to go ahead and concentrate on the far right column labeled fiscal year 2023 year to date. We'll start off with our total operating revenues of $234,796 with $3. To that, we're going to subtract out our total operating expenses of $194,146,120, giving us operating income of $40,649,883. We back out our net non-operating expenses of $48,591,744, gives us income before capital contributions of negative $7,941,861. We add in capital contributions of $4,317,49. It gives us a change in net position of negative $3,624,812. We add that into the net position at the beginning of the year of $445,310,943, gives us a net position for the end of the period of $441,666,131. Moving on to our flow of funds. Again, concentrating on the far right column, fiscal year 2023 year-to-date numbers. I'll begin on line number 20. As you can see, PUB's generated sufficient revenues to cover our transfers out. And you can see those transfers out on lines item 23, 24, and 25, which are our operating sub-account fuel adjustment of $2,136,244, our improvement fund CIP funding of $8,166,047, and our improvement fund Resaca CIP funding of $329,808, leaving us an improvement fund surplus of $19,626,175. Any questions on either of those reports?
George, just for our understanding.
Sure.
When we look at the month of August, on the first page, we can see that line 2 has fuel collection at 8.3 million. And then line 6 has purchase power and fuel expenses at 22 million. So just for our understanding, that difference, which more or less comes up to that underbilling amount on line 3, was due to our fuel costs for the month of
August being extremely high based off of it. Correct.
So, the utility absorbed that difference
That is correct.
through the underbilling.
Through the underbilling
of that amount, and then that'll have to be made up in one way or another in the future. But for the time being, it'll be a receivable on our balance sheet.
Correct. Yes, sir. Any other questions on any of the other reports? Yeah. Do you want to? Yeah, so usually we do have monthly meetings where we set that FPIC rate based on projections and where we are in the current month. And so we kind of use that on a rolling 24-month basis to try to recover, to try to set that under recovery balance to zero as closely as possible. And so that's why we have those monthly meetings to try to set those targets.
So to add that, we did have enough revenue or enough funds in our plant fund, operating fund, to cover the expense in the meantime, and we'll be collecting that receivable into the future. That's correct. We've got sufficient revenues to continue operations on a normal basis.
And so for the year, that 4 million number is going to be more or less where we'll end. Having underbilled about 4 million for the fiscal year.
No, the underbillings through the end of September. Well, I'm looking at the end of September already. We're at about 17 million under recovered,
17, okay.
17 for the end. So
So September was significantly higher as well.
no, the August numbers came in higher than what we had even estimated at the end of August.
Okay,
So, and we'll be discussing that in close.
okay, that should, all right. All right, well then, I was just confirming, so that year-to-date number, line 3, underbilling of 4 million, will be significantly higher than,
Yeah, yes.
okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nope, thank you.
And so, good afternoon, Mr. Chair and members of the committee. So, BPUB's fiscal year end 2023 came to a close on September 30th. Burton McCumber and Longoria continues to serve as BPUB's external auditor. They're on their second year of a possible 3-year term contract. Here with us today is Ben Peña, audit partner, and Jose Diaz, audit manager with Burton McCumber and Longoria, to provide the finance committee with their audit plan and timeline. So I'll turn it over to Ben.
Thank you, Mike. Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, thank you for having us. For the benefit of the public, my name is Ben Peña with Burton McCumber and Longoria. I am the partner in charge of the external audit this year for FY 9/30/2023. Mr. Chairman, we did meet with management last week and talk about the timeline of the audit, when certain milestones will take place. I believe we are scheduled to have a standing meeting presentation with this committee to give status updates throughout the audit until the report is issued. We are planning to have a February board meeting audit presentation. So if we work backwards from then, we've already started. In fact, we did have inventory observation of the PUB's inventory. We had auditors on site at year end to observe physical observations of that inventory. That went well. We're currently working to wrap that up as well. This is the first year that we will be having an audit under the uniform guidance, which is an audit of federal expenditures, federal awards. That's basically the grants audit. That, for the most part, is very compliance driven. So we can start that immediately. We'll be doing that in October. We did get the schedule of expenditures of federal awards. And so we will be doing that in October and get a head start. In October sometime, at the same time, in fact, we've already started the confirmation process to get all of your bank accounts, all your debts, anything that requires confirmation. We're working on those to get them sent out as well. And then on November 3rd, we are expecting the final trial balance. The trial balance is the chart of accounts that we will be auditing. It's the final numbers that everybody kind of alludes to that feed into the annual comprehensive financial report. So November 3rd is the expected date that we're waiting for that. And the following week, November 6th, we'll be starting on our field work here on premises. That'll probably go through all of November. Maybe there'll be a little bit of relaxed time around the Thanksgiving time, but for the most part, that should take us through mid-December. And then after December, we should finish with our field work. We're expecting a comprehensive financial report by January and having February board presentation at this time. So we don't expect any unusual items other than the uniform guidance and the audit of federal awards, which is significant because it's got compliance requirements under the uniform guidance that have to be met, and we'll be looking at that very closely. So we've got very good experience with that. And so rest assured that we got it covered.
All right.
Yeah. Any questions?
Well, good. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Yep, let us know if there's anything we can do to help.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Mr. Chair, we are scheduling just an update from the auditors on a monthly basis until till the completion of the audit. So
Great, we look forward to those updates.
Thank you.
All right, that's number two. Number three is presentation, discussion, and possible recommendation on the re-engagement of Wilden Financial Services to update the Resaca rate analysis.
Yes, I'll provide a little bit of a history here. So on January 13, 2020, Wilden Financial Services, an independent consulting and engineering firm, was engaged to conduct a wastewater and Resaca fee study. Subsequently, on March 14, 2022, 2 years later, right, the BPB board approved the resolution requesting the city commission consideration of amendments to chapter 102 of the Code of Ordinances incorporating a 5-year rate increases. The city commission then approved the ordinance in May, and the first rate increases were effective June 1st of 2022. Over the course of the study and implementation of the rate increases, we have seen new BPB board members and city commissioners take office. Lately, there have been a lot of questions surrounding the Resaca fee, and so therefore we have re-engaged the services of Wilden to update the Resaca rate analysis. On August 16th, 2023, the executive team and finance staff met with Wilden to discuss the Resaca fee. The group discussed the various options that were considered during the rate study process, including a volumetric charge or one based on the meter size, right? Currently, it's a monthly fixed charge for all of our water customers. So just recently, on September 28th, the BPB did sign an engagement letter with Wilden for the Resaca study analysis addendum. BPB staff has provided files to Wilden as per the request of information, so they can proceed with the study. Wilden will use the updated information to reassess the Resaca fee implementation options. Wilden will update their comprehensive model and provide the BPB board with alternative rate proposals that will include single-tier, multi-tier fees, differentiating between direct and indirect beneficiaries. Again, monthly fixed charges, monthly charges per 1,000 gallons, and rates based on meter size. This process will take approximately up to 6 weeks to complete. We do anticipate to have Wilden present their summary report to the BPB board on November the 13th. So just wanted to keep the finance committee abreast of this. Any questions?
Mike, just real quick, this is of course the original firm that developed this for us, right?
That's correct.
We have a budget in place, not to exceed $25,000.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
And they've already been engaged, correct?
They've already been engaged. So we signed the engagement letter on September 28th, and we've already provided information. We're still pending some information to provide some updated cost on the Restore Resaca project from TCEQ. Those numbers, those costs have not been updated yet, but we've engaged the firm that helped us or assisted us with establishing those numbers. So we'll be providing that to Wilden to incorporate into the study.
Okay, any questions? No?
And Mike, make me understand the engagement. How did the engagement work in terms of authority? CEO have authority to engage, or is it previous?
Yeah, no, our general manager and CEO has the authority to engage in this particular. I mean, it's a contract up to 25,000. Yeah, it's under her authority, correct?
Are we expecting it to be $25,000 or should it be?
No, it should be much less. We're hoping that it's less. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
All right. Perfect. Thanks, Mike. Next up is presentation and discussion on progress update on commercial paper dealer selection.
Yeah, so on this particular item, I just wanted to close the loop here with the committee. As you might recall, the commercial paper dealer contract with Citigroup Global Markets, Inc. expires on November 21st, 2023. BPB initiated the RFP process back in June of 23 and presented the commercial paper dealer selection to the Finance Committee on August 7th. Subsequently, on September the 11th, the BPB board approved the resolution requesting the City Commission to approve a supplemental ordinance authorizing replacement of the dealer for BPB's commercial paper notes. So last night we did provide or presented the supplemental ordinance to the City Commission for public hearing and action. I'm glad to say that City Commission unanimously approved the supplemental ordinance. So the replacement dealer agreement for the commercial paper notes will now be with JP Morgan Securities LLC effective November 21st of 2023. So like I said, I just wanted to close that loop with the committee. That's all I had. Any questions?
All right. Thank you, Mike.
Okay.
Okay, at this time, we do have a scheduled closed meeting to discuss items 1 and 2 is posted. So at 12:16 PM, we'll break for closed session.
Excuse me, just for the record, the closed session for the closed items on the agenda will be pursuant to section 551-086, certain public power utilities competitive matters.
Great, thank you. And again, as always, if it's okay with your supervisors or with your department head, if you're here and you don't have an item after we come back, okay, reconvening open meeting at 1:20 PM. Number 5 is discussion and possible recommendation on closed meeting items. I believe there's nothing on that. And number 6 is discussion and or request for future agenda items. Anything?
No, I don't have anything right now.
No.
Okay, and with that, 1:21 PM, meeting of the Finance Committee is hereby adjourned. Thank you. Thanks, everybody, for being here and sticking around. I apologize for exceeding the 1 hour